Hello, everybody. I'm back, and thank God we are finally done with WrestleMania season, so I can kind of cool off with these longer videos for now. As man, I went back and looked at my videos and looked at the run times on some of those. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, you tried way too hard for WrestleMania this year, but it's all good. I had fun making those videos, so it's fine. But I'm really gonna cool it off a little bit. Hopefully deliver some more 10-minute videos and ones that are much easier to upload onto YouTube. And I'm thinking about, maybe once a month throwing out a non-wrestling video every now and then, just, whatever tickles my fancy. And, because, I'm obviously into other things besides wrestling, so it'd be fun to kind of throw something else out there. Once in a while. So maybe once a month, if I feel the itch to talk about something besides wrestling, I'll probably throw another video out there in that regards. But yeah, it's time to talk some TNA because I have not talked TNA since lockdown. And one interesting development took place in the time between lockdown and now, and that's the new formatting of the X Division. And I thought it'd be good to talk about that and give my throw my 2 cents out there on my thoughts on the new X Division and what they're doing with it. And I do have to say, as a side note, I did check out the Extravaganza pay-per-view, the one-night-only throwaway show that they did. And, for $15 and for a show that has no storyline purpose at all whatsoever. Actually, a friend of mine was talking to me about it. It's like, everybody's comparing these pay-per-views to In Your House. They're really more like Coliseum videos, where, if you remember the old Coliseum videos, that was basically, tapes that the WWE would release back in the 80s and the 90s, where it'd just be a bunch of matches from, like, house shows and special tapings that we never saw on TV. So they would just release those on video. And that's basically what you would get out of those. It was just a bunch of special matches that you never saw on TV that had no real storyline purpose or anything like that. It was just, oh, hey, cool matches that I don't usually get. And that's kind of what these shows are. And that's what this Extravaganza pay-per-view was. It was just a showcase for the X Division, no real storyline behind it. The stuff they did with Jerry Lynn I thought was really cool, and that was kind of worth the whole thing for me. The Aries and Joe match I thought was really good as well, and the tag matches were good. The only match that sucked I thought was the cage match, the escape match. That was the one that was like, ew, that one kind of fell flat. It was the opening match, unfortunately. But overall, I thought the show was a lot of fun, and well worth the $15 price tag. If anybody's interested, I was hesitant to buy it because I was like, man, I spent so much money on Mania, and the Mets game, and the Ring of Honor show. It's like, Jesus, I'm running out of money. But that's okay. But yeah, I do recommend checking out that pay-per-view. It was fun, even though the Impact Zone sucks and that's where it's held. But thank God they got out of there. But as far as the new format of the X Division, and in case you don't know, basically how it works now, every title match is a triple threat match from now on, and the person that loses the fall. I want to make sure I phrase this correctly. The person that loses the fall in the title match then gets bumped down to a contenders match, which is also a triple threat match where they bring two other guys, throw them into the mix, and the winner of that triple threat match will get into the next X Division triple threat title match. I like that they're trying to come up with something different for these guys and trying to revitalize the X Division and trying to reformat it and give it something different. And I like a lot of the guys that they're bringing in. They brought back Petey Williams. They brought back Sanjay Dutt, and both of them look great. I was really impressed with how both of them looked. I wasn't sure if Petey would look as good, but I'm like, wow, no, he looks pretty good. Chris Sabin has already announced that he's coming back. And these guys have had a significant amount of time off. Like, Petey's been gone from TNA for 4 years. So they're kind of like, they feel fresh when they come back. And we're allowed to mark out for them. It would be like if Shelton Benjamin went back to the WWE, which has been rumored. It's like, well, he hasn't been there in a few years, so bringing him back, he's like, oh, he's fresh. And he still looks really good in the ring, so it'd be a cool addition to the roster. And that's what a lot of these X Division guys being brought in feels like. It's like, oh, yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, and oh, it's fresh. And it actually... in a way, it's actually adding depth to the X Division that they can cycle these guys in and out of these triple threat matches and make it look like the division is really big, because that's been a problem with the division for a while. Even when Austin Aries was champion, he didn't really have a whole lot of people to work with. They always felt like he was working with the same 2 or 3 people. And Kenny King, it's been him, Rob Van Dam, Christian York, and Zema Ion, and that's all it's been for like 6 months. not a whole lot of guys in the division to really cycle in and out of the title picture. So I like that they're trying to bring in more contenders, bring in some fresh faces, bring in some familiar faces, and have them cycled in and out of these title matches to freshen them up a little bit. So that part of it is good. What I don't like is that every match is a fucking triple threat match. I think that really halts creativity when you do something like that. I think it makes it harder for characters to get over. I think it makes every match look the same, because I heard that as like, all right, every match is a triple threat match. Okay, you're going to get the same exact match over and over again, where it's just this video game style spot fest, and they just every match is going to look the same, and I think that's a huge problem with this format, and I think it's really going to halt creativity and really prevent characters from getting over. And I'm also thinking, if it's all just contenders matches and title matches, it's going to be really hard for characters to get over, and I think that's going to be a problem as well. And I understand they want to push the X Division as like the no-nonsense, action-based division, and I understand that. But making every match a triple threat match, I think, is really going to make it harder to, have people stand out as individuals, both from their in-ring work and from a character standpoint, as far as promos and everything goes. It's really hard to, push any kind of major storylines in that format, I think. And that's not to say triple threat matches can't be good. They can. I think the main event of WrestleMania 20 is the best triple threat match I've ever seen, and obviously you have the Unbreakable triple threat for the X Division title, which is hailed as one of the best matches in TNA's history. So you can have very good triple threat matches. I just think if every match is a triple threat match, you just kind of burn yourself out creatively, and it leads to a lot of repetition. So, I probably wouldn't have as much of a problem with it if it were treated like the Bound for Glory series or something, where it was just like a 2 or 3 month thing, where basically the X Division's equivalent to the Bound for Glory series, where it's just this 10 match or 12 match or 15 or 20 match series of triple threats where the ultimate winner becomes the X Division champion at Bound for Glory or something like that. If they treated it like that, it would probably be fine. But or even like do this during the spring with the ultimate winner of the X Division championship at Slammiversary, then getting the decision to go for the World Heavyweight title after that, and follow up on the Austin Aries Destination X thing, which I don't know if they're going to keep that around now that Destination X is no more, but if they kept it to just a 3-month series or something to decide the X Division champion for that summer title shot, okay, fine. But the fact that they're doing this is like, okay, this is what we're doing from now on, I think is really, they're really restricting themselves in a lot of ways. And I think it's going to lead to a lot of repetition. I think ultimately it's going to kind of fizzle out after a while. I mean, people are kind of excited about it now, but I think it's going to fizzle itself out. It's sort of like when they did the TV title every week. It's like, oh yeah, the TV title's featured every week. And like, yeah, but here's the problem. If the title's on the line every week, how are you going to build up contenders to the title? And sure enough, we got Devon versus Robbie E 800 times because there was no way to build up contenders in that format. And that was the ultimate problem with it. So that went away. And I don't know if this is going to be one of those things at TNA, because it seems like they always get these ideas that they love to do. Like the TV title, the weekly title shots, or the ranking system that they had in 2010, or, various things like that, where it's like, oh, we'll do it for now, and then when we lose interest, we'll stop doing it. Championship Thursday, they haven't done that in a while, and I think it's like, yeah, we kind of just lost interest in doing it, or whatever. They'll do an idea for like a month or 2 months or whatever, and then when they lose interest, they're like, yeah, fuck it. And I don't know if this new X Division format is going to be one of those. But as it stands right now, I think it's I think it's a bad move to do all triple threat matches. I think that kind of I think they're going to overexpose themselves, and I think after a while those matches are going to get very repetitive and very stale, and I think that's a major problem. But I mean, they're trying with the X Division. I like a lot of the faces that they brought in. I like that they're thinking. I'll give them credit for thinking, but I don't think this format's going to work in the long run. And maybe it's not supposed to work in the long run. Maybe it's just something they want to do in the meantime. And then once they get bored with it, they'll drop it and do something else. I don't know. But, I'm not a fan of the all triple threat match format. And I just wanted to come on here and say that and bitch like I always do. So, that's it for today. I'll have a video for you sometime next week, maybe after watching Raw, and we'll see how the post-WrestleMania show how they follow up on a lot of the things they did. I'm looking forward to seeing how they follow up on the Shield and the Undertaker stuff, and Cena and Ryback and things like that. So we'll see how everything plays out and see what they do there. But until then, that's all I've got for now, and peace out, everybody.